Okay, so things have gotten pretty dark in this webtoon. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I really do love stories, and that's not even just in like webtoons, like anime, manga, whatever medium you name it, that really shows how horrible humans can truly, truly be. And it always poses the question, which is one of my favorite questions to answer that anime do leave you with: who is really worse? Is it the werewolves, or is it really the humans that have done these horrible things to these creatures? And that's where Days of Hana is at this point, where Haru finds out that Hook and that I said in the last review, Hook is a part of this like underground wolf match in which they are fighting literally to the death, and he is getting mangled and slaughtered on a consistent basis from the looks like of it. So Haru goes missing, and Hana goes completely crazy. And she really wants to find out because she feels like that she drove him away, which she did, but she really feels like bad about that and that she wasn't honest with herself. But we're going to get more into Hana's feelings later in this webtoon review. Again, there are two main points I want to get to before we talk about Hana's amazing character transformation. The first thing we're going to talk about, again, is just what the heck is going on. Why are they, like, I just don't understand why they doing this. I mean, we as humans, for entertainment, we do horrible things to animals and towards one another, which is one of the things that is not proud about our race. But just to see it communicate in this webtoon, it's just more of the author raising the stakes over and over and over, which I really like about this particular author. He did it with Orange Marmalade, and he continues to do it with Days of Hana, raising these stakes higher and higher, adding more levels of like problems, more levels of discrimination and prejudice. Like, you think he or she has reached their level, and they always add something new. And this is definitely a page turner of events, as we see here, as we see Hook and other werewolves like him fighting to the death. And the transformation it does to Haru is honestly very masterful. I enjoyed it a lot. Haru, again, as we know, was questioning, werewolves and humans, and like, should the werewolves revolt? Kind of, are we really that bad? And then he sees this, and I can only imagine the stuff that is going through his head right now, especially after Hana rejects him the way that she does. I can only imagine, in my opinion, what's going to happen as the webtoon continues to be ongoing. But again, I'll leave that up for your minds to think about it. So then the second thing which irritated me was Jeff coming to Hana. I did kind of like, well, okay, let's face it. We all knew Jeff wasn't done with Hana yet. He wasn't done with their whole family as of yet, which is why he's doing these things that he's doing. But the fact that he came to Hana, yeah, it kind of irritated me just a little bit. Now, I will still say this. I think Jeff is an amazing character for the webtoon. Only for the webtoon and its development. Nothing else about his character is great. I actually really hate what he's doing, especially what he's doing to Hook, what he tried to do to Hana, etc. The list goes on. I think he's a bad person. But I do like his character because it just adds, again, this another level of raising the stakes that the author keeps doing. And again, it's just, again, masterful work here. But him coming to Hana was just like, why? And then she's dumb enough to give him the time of day, which is why she's really starting to get on my nerves a little bit, because like she's giving him the time of day, but like he's done some horrible stuff, and Haru keeps telling you about the stuff that he is doing, and like he deserves like no type of attention, especially after what he's done. He doesn't deserve anything, and then he's coming, it's like, hey, what's up? Give me another chance. I'm glad I'm not in this webtoon. I'll tell him, I'll give you another chance. I'll throw you in front of the bus. What you mean? So anywho, so he helps Hana find Haru, which I personally think this is all part of his little plan, because Jeff is really smart, and he's a great strategist in my opinion. So I think this is all part of his plan for Haru to run away so he can trap him, I think. But again, I don't think like he would predict the events that was going to happen. So then let's get into Hana. And again, I do like her character development going into this webtoon, but at the same time, it does irritate me. And I know it irritates a lot of people who's reading this webtoon as well. The thing with Hana is that she can't make up her mind, even though she knows like how she feels. And I kind of like how Haru running away kind of does that. But then at the same time, I don't like how they've met, because I think what's going to happen in this webtoon is that because okay, so the webtoon, the current chapter ends with Haru returning to Hana at her footsteps, and he has this dark look, like he done saw a ghost. Which again, who can blame him after all the crap he just saw and he just heard? And so I think what's going to happen, she's going to try to tell him what's what, and he's not going to want to hear it and thinks that she's lying, because now he thinks that all human beings are conniving and still only want to kill the werewolves. That's unfortunately is sad, but again, it would make sense for the author to do this, because again, the author keeps adding more and more elements to continue raising the stakes. And so it will probably be no surprise if she tries to tell him everything and Haru's just like, you had your chance. I ain't listening to you no more. But yeah, a lot of good stuff. So I had to do a quick video about it. A lot of good stuff. But what do you think? If you've gotten to this point of the video, I always say, yeah, leave a comment down about what you think about the current chapters if you're reading it, or what do you think about Days of Hana in general. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like and a subscribe. If you want to read Days of Hana, I'll leave a link down in the description below to where you can read it. I'll also leave a link in the description below about Orange Marmalade, which is another great webtoon. If you haven't checked it out, watch it, read that, because it's really, really good. With that being said, I thank you for watching and listening to both these videos that I just cranked out. With that being said, have a good night.